Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are returning, then welcome back. And if it's your first time here, then just welcome. This is a space where I am able to share more about intuition, about oracles and spirituality, about ancestral healings. This is something that's very near and dear to my heart. And I love to explore the subconscious and the non-ordinary spaces. So there is a lot under that category, I recognize, but I'm never bored, never bored. So I want to share a bit about the Oracle archetype. So I'm posting this on OracleFest and also on Heart's Frontier. So depending on where you come from, feel free to follow either because this is something that's, I would say, of value to both of these organizations. So Oracle archetype and going into this idea of like what even is an oracle. So an oracle is for me a broader term to describe people who are using their insight, their listening, their intuitive mind to help others or to carry forward messages, whatever that looks like. And so, yeah, let's just kind of pull back the curtain on what an oracle actually is. So I think a lot of people, when they think about an oracle, I hear people make the Matrix Oracle reference a lot. And then we, of course, think of like Oracle of Delphi, in Greece. Like we think of these like Greek oracles with, like having herbs, smoked up vapors, maybe from cracks in the earth. That's usually how we see them, or they're sort of looking through a trance or a fog. And I quite like that idea. I'm not against that idea. Certainly, I think it's helpful to burn herbs and to also be in a space that feels sort of liminal, floaty, or something like that in order to receive messages. And this is because we need to be having a pretty chill nervous system and be relaxed in order to receive messages. So that makes sense to me and is kind of like an earthy, if you like witchy, earthy woo things, definitely go and enjoy some of these practices. It can also be really much more like pragmatic and day-to-day, accessible. It really doesn't need to look like performance, even though sometimes that is a part of things. Sometimes costuming is a part of the whole thing. And I don't want to take away from that. However, the way that I use it in OracleFest and thinking about that is really thinking about people who are listening and who are choosing consciously, mindfully based on what it is that they are receiving. So a lot of Oracle, modern oracles that I would recognize are people who are not really trying to impress anyone. They're living the path of their heart, of their truth. And they hold with some sort of real clear vision or intention, like what is being received from them internally. So then, their existence becomes a little more artful in that respect. And I would say that actually a lot of artists are also oracles. That's something that I've noticed is a lot of creatives have this very deep connection and listening to the non-ordinary spaces that we inhabit. So it can also look like very much everyday oracle moments. And so I like the idea that all of us are oracles and we're simply empowering or awakening that inner oracle when we gather together for big things like OracleFest and Big OracleFest Online. So some of the everyday oracle moments could be like having a really clear sense of timing instead of just like forcing action for the sake of action. Sometimes we're like, actually, I think that's going to come in later and I don't need to act on that right now. Or actually, I think the time to act on this is now, even though I thought it was going to be later. That type of intuitive, predictive mind and sensing timing instead of just forcing action for the sake of it, that absolutely is like an everyday oracle trait. As well, it would be like knowing when to leave a situation, a job or a relationship or a friendship, things like that. That would be a really good everyday oracle moment. I think also sometimes we can get a bit biased, but often when people are giving advice and they're giving wisdom or insights to others, they sort of empty their mind and try to say what might be useful or valuable. And often that is like a channeling and an intuitive, maybe a collective heart consciousness or something like that. I also think a lot of oracles require more rest, as do sensitive people. And so highly sensitive people who are able to connect on a psychic or telepathic realm in some kind of way. Even if it's like simple things like repeated numbers, or you think of someone and then they call you. That happened to my mom and I so often for like so many years. Even now, it sometimes does happen. I was thinking of someone the other day, and then I went to go message them, and I noticed they were typing a message to me, and it had been like weeks or months since I'd spoken to them. So that kind of stuff, I love that that happens as well. Just some everyday oracle moments, so you don't think, oh my gosh, I'm not an oracle. But what I really believe is that the more that we follow that intuitive sense within us, the more that we're able to strengthen it in other areas of our lives. So it doesn't become just the little everyday things. It becomes also larger, further reaching visioning as well. And this to me feels really important for any leaders of the world, is to, at least if you're a leader of the world and you've somehow stumbled across this, hello, welcome. And if you are in a position of power and authority at work or in a political sphere, in any type of leadership capacity, really, you owe it to yourself to strengthen some of your intuition, because this is a really, really beautiful skill that is going to help us. I really believe that when we just take action without the intuitive side, we are collapsing. We are not able to sustain for the longer term what is actually needed. And so we've needed this for a long time in society. There has been a feminine, masculine, energetic imbalance, with a lot more patriarchal building and a lot more driving forward with development, which I really think is awesome. It has come with a lot of like, whoa, 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 whoa. There's a lot that really needs to slow down a second so that we can really check collectively, hey, are we all on the same page here? Are we, choosing this intuitively from our hearts, or are we allowing life to, pass us by? So I think when we're just getting a whole bunch of data in our brains, especially as we rise into Aquarius age and all of these AI technologies are coming online, and we are on social media in a way that is absolutely unprecedented as far as communication and social habits goes, we're seeing also a lot of people who are getting very overwhelmed. They're struggling with discerning anything within the noise, seeing the forest for the trees. We're having cases of AI psychosis already popping up, which is wild considering the short amount of time that it has been public and available to people. And I think the thing with intuition is that it's really like recognizing more of these other patterns that are at play. And so we're not just taking what's fed to us and taking all data in without any discernment. And so intuition and developing this part of ourselves, even just strengthening our own, not necessarily having to teach others, but even just you doing this for yourself as an attendee of OracleFest, for example, taking that time in and really receiving is what's going to help us all become greater leaders in our community, because we have to be able to listen and to sense from the land, from the people, from the energies, from the times themselves, like sensing from the times what is needed from us. And I really feel that a stronger future is going to be created when people are sensing before they're just acting, when they're feeling before they're just, choosing. And so the more that we can all embrace that on a micro level is affecting ourselves on a collective level. So this isn't about a bunch of performance, obviously, but there will be performances of sound healing, of teachings, of storytelling. I believe storytelling is a beautiful kind of performance that we require more of. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to share a bit more about what I really think an Oracle is and why I think we need them. And I hope that you'll consider joining us at OracleFest. The big OracleFest Online is January 30th to February 2nd. You can see all the tickets and options for yourself on oraclefest.com. And and everyone who attends this year will get our collective Omen Days calendar, and you can see the info for that also below wherever it is you're watching this. I will put that in there. So thank you all for being here. If you're here in the video, please like and subscribe and make sure you're getting the notifications, because I'm going to be sharing out more videos. And so I'd love for you to see them and get notified of them. It also helps the channel. You share this out, or you like and you comment on it, obviously that helps YouTube send it to more people. And so if you believe in what we're doing here, even just say, I love oracles in the comments below. And I'll be so glad that you did that. You just took a moment of your time to write a little comment and support this message going out in the world. So enjoy the rest of your day, everyone, and we will chat soon.